Good morning to you all. Yesterday I played the final round of the Monday afternoon overboard competition. Whole mouthful. The chess club where I'm at is he's got like a Monday afternoon, Monday evening, Wednesday evening, Thursday morning. So I joined the Monday afternoon and the Thursday morning competitions. And yesterday it was the Monday afternoon final round, and I was, before this game, I set at number 11 out of 36, and last season I ended on place 13. So my goal was to maybe get to place 12 or 11. I knew that whatever happened, I could not go below 13, so I would at least match my accomplishment of last year. But if things would go right, maybe with a draw I could enter the top 10. So with that in mind, I played strong A player. Played to him a few times. Once in an official competition I managed to win against him, but that was due to his mistake. Mainly a miscalculation, and this year I lost against him in an official match and drew against him on two occasions I think in friendly matches. But he needed to win, I think, in order to stay in the A competition, because for whatever reason, he hasn't been performing as he should do, I think, because I think he needs to be higher up, and he was a little bit lower this season, so he needed to win to stay in the A competition. So we both had something on the line. I'll tell you what the accuracies were at the end. I was playing with black, and d4, d5, he's going for the London, the main line London, not the Jababa London, and I'm just bringing my pieces out. I obviously can't go here because it's defended. I don't want to go here and block this pawn, so my other bishop can't go out, so now I'm attacking, and if he blocks, that's fine. I've got a pin. And actually I heard that this is quite good, so you might provoke them to push this pawn, so this knight can't go to this preferable square. So that's what I did. So he now blocks, but his knight can't go here, which he actually wants to go in most occasions. But maybe not for the London system, I'm not quite sure. Anyway, and then he started pushing the pawns, and if you have not seen this before, when someone pushes like the side pawn two places, you need to get the hell out of there with the bishop, because otherwise, if you think nothing's going wrong, he's going to push this pawn, and then actually, no, that wouldn't have mattered actually. It's different when this bishop isn't here, because otherwise you get the Noah's Ark trap. Push, push, and push, and you're stuck with 3 pawns here. So I was seeing a bit of a ghost here, but I wanted to move to the square anyway. And I thought, like, if he takes me, that's fine. I'm not too worried about doubling pawns. I could always castle this side. So now he brings out his knight to not the best square, I think. And he keeps pushing pawns. And because I didn't want to get into some kind of a problem with the bishop, I thought, let's trade off. And he takes with the pawn rather than the queen. And in the back of my mind, I wasn't too focused on it, but in the back of my mind I knew that if I would get a draw, I would most likely get into the top 10. And seeing as I have been able to draw against this fella, I thought, like, okay, well, it could be a strategy. So I thought, let's trade some stuff off. He didn't want it. and obviously he had defended twice, bishop and pawn, so he recaptured with the knight to keep his pawn structure intact. And here I saw a tactic, but he saw it. And if you're wondering, like, what was the tactic, and if you're not seeing it, just pause the video for a moment and see if you can find out. So if he would have done anything, like whatever, push this pawn, it's yeah, I think it's the line I saw. Indeed, I can take this pawn. Yes, he can recapture, but I can take his knight, and I won a pawn, and I doubled up his pawns. So that was the tactic I saw, but he did notice it. Hang on, is it still possible? I thought it wasn't possible anymore. So what if I still would have gone for it? Oh, nothing's changed actually. I thought something changed. I still could have done it. That could have changed the whole game. I thought with this move he stopped that. I kind of assumed that he did that to stop my my tactic, but nope. Ah, darn it. Too bad, because it was a nice tactic to win a pawn and ruin his pawn structure. So I'm not quite sure why he did this. He might have seen some other trick, which I didn't see. Anyway, so I knew he was putting out his rook here, but in a while you see that I forgot that. And here I thought, like, well, I don't like his queen here. He's coming closer and closer to my territory with his knight here and his queen here. And in the back of my mind, with a draw is fine. I made an error. I'm not quite sure why. Okay, so why is this an error? I mean, Stockfish says like we're pretty much equal. And what was it? Yeah, okay, so I lost a little bit of an advantage. But I thought it was cool, so we can trade down and I can just bring back my knight. And I was thinking about pushing this pawn and maybe breaking open the center because his king is in the center. So that was my plan, and I obviously saw like he's most likely gonna double up and put pressure on my knight, and maybe sacrifice his rook for this knight, and have like a knight and a pawn and my king in danger for a rook. I kind of was thinking he was gonna do that. So I was thinking about I need to get this knight out and push this pawn. Like bring this here, for example. Oh, hang on. Yeah. Bring my knight here, and then push this pawn to keep this to keep the rooks out. But first I thought like breaking up the center, and but I failed to notice that my pawn is then hanging, but not too bad, because I can take this pawn even though Stockfish doesn't like it, and if he takes it I can grab it with the tempo on the rook. So we're equal again in material. We both lost a central pawn, and he pushes, he doesn't take, and now I make a blunder or a mistake, because I was still thinking I need to get my knight out of here in case he's going to double up his rooks so I can push my pawn, but I just failed to notice that his knight and his rook are lining up at this pawn. So yeah, he just checks me. I can't take it, obviously, because he's defended by the knights. So I've lost another pawn, so now I'm a pawn down, and my king is very vulnerable now, and because obviously this pawn is hanging, he defends it, and now I make a mistake. He says go here. Not entirely sure why. Yeah, this is pretty much what happened. But I thought like, okay, well, I'm one pawn down. A draw is still good. So let's see if we can trade some stuff off. I was thinking like, okay, so there's no pass pawn just yet. These three can stop these three. These two can stop these two. So I just need to defend this somehow. Or this. Yeah. That was what I was thinking of. So we exchanged pieces, and then I thought like, okay, well, let's keep trading. As I said, one pawn, if it gets down to like both one rook or both maybe a knight, I thought like, well, or even exchange the knights, I thought like, maybe I can get into such position that I can offer him a draw. But maybe that's not the right mindset. Maybe I should have just thought about how can I actually win this game. But we're trading down, and then he checks me, and I only looked one spot, one move ahead. Was if I would have taken maybe a little bit more time. I'm not sure if it would have mattered actually. He was there. Hang on, let's say what if I would have gone there? He was going here. No, it wouldn't have mattered. I don't think I could have stopped it because now he. I thought like he doesn't have a follow-up. I thought he can go here, but then I can just push this pawn. But didn't realize that by going here, he actually forks this pawn and that pawn. So I'm gonna lose this. I didn't even see it. Maybe in hindsight it would have been better to protect this pawn, because this pawn is just holding these two pawns from coming up the board. And well, you can already see I'm in trouble, but I think by making this mistake, he's just saying, don't worry about either of the pawns, go for counter attack. Okay, that makes sense actually. So say whatever, take that pawn, I'll take this pawn, and I'm still only one pawn down. Okay, yeah, so I didn't make the best moves. I did feel already that I wasn't playing very well. I played quite badly, I thought, even though Stockfish says I didn't play too bad, accuracy wise. But yeah, so I lost a very important pawn here, and he's up 4 points, and this pony is just becoming a nightmare, and his pawns are just he's just way more active. Yeah, and this is also a mistake, but I was already way behind, and it gets into my mind, because obviously it would have been better to go active rather than passive. He can't actually defend this pawn, so maybe if he pushes, actually it would have been also, yeah, so he wouldn't have done that because he's wise. Say let's do that, I can take this pawn, and now I'm already only one point down again, and then I can whatever he does, I don't know, let's say he moves, I can go No, he wouldn't have done it, because then or would have he done it? I don't know. I could maybe try to win this pawn also anyway. So yeah, rather than going all active, I went passive. I don't know why. I was too impressed by these pawns. I thought I need to defend. The opponents can also defend from further up the board. Actually, it would have been better to go here, because then I'm actually protecting this pawn also. So now he's looking at this pawn, and there's actually nothing I can do to protect it. Yes, I can push, but then he checks, and he takes it anyway with a check, and he defends his knight. And I must say, this guy played really well. He played very accurate. I'll tell you later on, but yeah, he was really playing really strong. So now I win a pawn, but I'm losing a pawn. So now it's 5 pawns against 2 pawns, which is pretty hopeless, but I thought, like, I'll give it a go and see where this leads. Because, like, you know, one mistake, you never know, but obviously with 2 pawns coming up the board, and my knight is obviously gonna be teased away, and hasn't got too many squares to go to. So it's check, and he closes in with his king, and I thought, like, maybe get some counterplay, but I did consider that he's going to push this pawn to lock it all up, so no play here. So now I'm in a zugzwang, so I need to either move my knight, move my king, or capture either of these 2 pawns. That's 4 options. And yeah, he says already take the pawn. Yeah, but there wasn't really. So if I would have taken, he takes. I still have to go here, and then he still checks. Okay, but then I can actually maybe. Okay, yeah. But obviously, then he can just walk up here and grab these pawns and finish the game anyway. So it was a hopeless situation. The only thing I was hoping for, but he did actually already talked about it. That he needs to be aware of stalemates, because in certain positions, when your king has no spaces left to go to, you can sacrifice your minor piece, and if he takes it, it could be like a stalemate. But he already said I need to look out for stalemates, and obviously I can still go anywhere with my king. So yeah, there's no hope, and I just sacrificed my knight, and then I resigned, because there's only one place I can go to here, and then he gets a queen, and I think it's even game over. Yeah, you got one space to go, and then it's just I don't know, maybe. Anyway, it's just a matter of time then. And he wasn't gonna fumble; he was too good. Anyway, so hang on. He played with 92.6% accuracy, so that's really, really great, with an estimated rating of 2450. So there's absolutely no shame in losing against this fella. Even though I did think I was playing very, very bad before I entered into the system. I thought I was playing maybe 60-70% accuracy, but actually I played with 83.2% accuracy, so there's something to be still proud of. And mind you, this guy is like has an official rating of about 1600 elo. I have no rating, but my rating is like 1100 at the moment on chess.com, which is maybe, I don't know, I have no idea what that is in elo terms. But I think his chess.com rating should be around about 1900. So there's no shame. 83% accuracy is pretty okay. But I ended at place 13, just like last season. But I've only been playing chess for like a little over a year. So consolidating my achievement is something to be pretty proud of, I think. Because it is, for me, a pretty strong competition. And yeah, so I hope you like these videos. of my Monday competition. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. Like these videos, share them with other people if you want. Next Thursday I have my Thursday morning competition. That competition is not going very well. I had a rough start and I kind of mentally got into some kind of a tilt on that morning competition, so I've been fumbling away a lot of the games, even against lower players, I think, who I beat last year without any trouble. So I'm hoping in the last couple of games, we have 4 games left, I hope to do some damage control. The highest I can get to is place 11. Last year I ended at place 10, so that's my goal. Lose 1 spot, that's not too bad. And it is possible, so fingers crossed. So thanks for watching. I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.